Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our SHIFT Cloud Summit Bangalore. We're bringing you, our customers, partners, and other industry leaders together because it is the most consequential time in the moment in our history of our industry. What we're living through isn't incremental, it's absolutely foundational. And why is it foundational, you may ask? Well, number one is ransomware. 90% of our demand is being driven by the very real and increasing threat of cyber crime, which is now estimated to be costing the global economy a massive $10.5 billion. To put that in perspective, if we consider that in the context of GDP, this would be more than 2 times the GDP of all of India. Number two, AI. AI is reshaping how enterprises operate, how data flows, and how decisions are made. It's safe to say it's growing faster than any technology in history. Just a few months ago, the Wall Street Journal reported that big tech is pouring more than $400 billion into AI infrastructure spending this year. That's driving trillions of economic value. It's no longer experimental. It's now the core of our businesses. And it's introducing new challenges for you as CIOs, as CISOs, and as practitioners. For starters, it's a matter of scale, which is, of course, made urgent in the AI era. Data is exponentially growing and splintering across clouds, across SaaS apps, and AI stacks overall. Failures are no longer isolated. They have cascading impacts into the business. And agents, they outnumber humans 80-1. AI creates a tipping point that accelerates all three, meaning waiting is no longer an option, resilience requires consolidation, and security strategists not already acting will fall behind very fast. Generative AI and agentic AI are creating an unprecedented volume and variety of data that needs to be both protected and managed. And today, we're raising the bar again with AI resilience. This is the defining challenge in the age of AI. It's not enough to secure the infrastructure. With AI, we now have thousands of intelligent and autonomous agents making decisions and mistakes with little to no human oversight, which is why AI resilience requires us to broaden our operational focus to continually secure our data at the source and monitor its anomalies, to control identities of the individuals and devices that access data autonomously. And true resilience requires that you can predictably recover at massive scale without corruption. To achieve AI resilience, you must bring security, identity, and recovery all together. Your organization is entrusting you to deliver AI resilience. However, while effective in many instances, traditional resilience processes are no longer enough. They can't keep the pace with the speed and scale of AI-driven systems. This is further complicated because the teams responsible for resilience, like SecOps, data security, and recovery, often have their own tools, their own policies, and their own requirements. So to combat this, many of the CIOs and CISOs we've spoken to are exploring progressive approaches to unify critical resilience activities. And there's one last factor to consider. Manual, error-prone data, security, and identity resilience processes are quickly evolving to agentic AI, which makes sense. However, if you're unable to keep the pace with agentic AI, your business is potentially at even more risk, which is why we've re-envisioned resilience for the age of AI. Technology shifts don't just change infrastructure, they change how organizations operate. Multi-cloud is the new standard operating model. Modern applications regularly span across platforms, technologies, and clouds. And these environments grow. Complexity grows with them. Gartner projects 99% of cloud security failures are caused by misconfigurations. 82% of data breaches attributed to lack of visibility in hybrid environments. But with innovation happening at breakneck speeds across such distributed environments, what happens when you actually need to recover from one of these security events? So think about a global CPG brand running a high-traffic digital storefront. The front end runs on OpenShift. The product catalog lives in MongoDB Atlas. Transactions flow through Oracle on AWS. Analytics run in Databricks. And Azure OpenAI powers real-time recommendations. That's a modern cloud stack, inherently multi-cloud, multi-platform, deeply integrated, and massively distributed. And then comes a call at 2 a.m. A bad code push, or worse, ransomware. The hyperscaler tools, they stop where their cloud ends. Your critical workloads, OpenShift, MongoDB, Oracle, they're left exposed. So the team scrambles, stitching together scripts, snapshots, point tools, a patchwork recovery plan in a moment that demands precision. That's the failure of traditional cloud backup today. Why does recovery fail? Well, there's 3 reasons. First, it's inconsistency and risk. The data comes back, but the metadata and configurations don't. Permissions, network ACLs, and load balancers, they're all out of sync. Your applications are really dead on arrival. That's the difference between restoring data and restoring the business. Second, limited security. Cloud-native backups have a critical flaw in the face of today's threats. Destructive attacks are surging, right? Up 87% according to our partner Microsoft, who you'll hear from later. This means when you're forced to recover, you're likely recovering from one of these cyber attacks, and you have no idea if your backups are clean. The attackers, malware, their backdoors, they've been sitting in the snapshot for weeks. So when you hit restore, you're not recovering, you're actually reinfecting. And third, fragmentation and cost. There's too many councils, there's too many workflows, there's too many bills. Really, you have no single source of truth. Every layer of fragmentation adds cost, complexity, and chaos. It doesn't just slow recovery, it drives up spending. In a crisis, it just doesn't work. This brings us to what we're here to talk about today. As you know, Commvault has always been obsessed with solving our customers' most significant security challenges with elegant and innovative solutions. We've been working on this challenge for years and are again upping the ante to give you what you need. Commvault Cloud's cloud-native platform is built from the ground up to give you the scale, the performance, and data security that you need. We call the release Unity because it unifies across security, identity, and recovery. It unifies resilience across all workloads, from today's production workloads to tomorrow's emerging AI stacks. And it unifies resilience across all data, wherever it lives, clouds, regions, data centers, and edge locations. This is a generational leap to re-architect resilience for the modern enterprise. We give you one platform, one console for everything. We're truly multi-cloud by design, AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, all managed as one. We recover more than data. We rebuild entire applications with Cloud Rewind. We restore both data and metadata automatically. And it's all built for simplicity and flexibility right out of the box. You can mix snapshots and full backups, span storage tiers, regions, or even different clouds and recover at any level of granularity, from a single file to an application stack. One automated workflow that adapts to every recovery scenario. Fast, flexible, resilient, it just all works. True cyber resilience built into the platform. Our default storage for cloud-native backup comes bundled and is air-gapped by design. We provide multi-cloud replication for true disaster recovery. We have native threat scanning capabilities, synthetic recoveries to intelligent reduce RPOs, in our innovative clean room recovery that leverages elastic cloud infrastructure for isolated on-demand recoveries. This means you're better prepared for security events. You're able to respond quickly and recover your business even faster. In the final pillar, lower cost of ownership. By consolidating tools and operations, optimizing storage, and auto-scaling, we're consistently 25 to 50% cheaper than the fragmented approach you may use today. One platform, better resilience at a lower cost. This is Commvault Cloud Unity. So let's take a look at it.
Protecting cloud data shouldn't be complex. With Commvault Cloud, customers can easily discover, subscribe, and start trials directly from AWS or Azure marketplaces. No extra setup or integrations required. It's the simplest way to experience enterprise-grade data protection from day one. First step is to create a cloud connection. With cloud connections, we can discover all subscriptions initially as well as future subscriptions automatically. Once connected, Commvault automatically discovers your entire cloud estate, giving you a unified view of every workload across accounts and subscriptions. From a single dashboard, you can see what's protected, what's not, and where your compliance or business continuity risks may exist. And with the built-in cost estimator, Commvault makes it easy to understand the total cost of protection, helping you compare cloud-native backup costs, identify savings opportunities, and make informed decisions that optimize spend without compromising resilience. This combination of visibility and cost transparency helps customers take control of both risk and value. Onboarding new workloads is just as simple. Using tags and filters, you can automatically identify and protect unprotected resources. Whether you're onboarding a few resources or thousands, Commvault delivers policy-driven automation that scales with your environment, freeing teams from manual setup and reducing operational risk. Commvault offers multiple protection options tailored to your recovery objectives, snapshots for instant RPO and RTO, immutable storage vaults, now inclusive of storage and backup services for long-term resilience, and cross-region or cross-cloud copies to meet compliance requirements like DORA. You get flexibility without complexity, all managed through one platform. The same seamless experience applies across Azure and AWS, giving you a true multi-cloud data protection solution from one pane of glass. No point tools, no silos, just unified, automated, and intelligent protection for all your cloud data. That's the power of Commvault Cloud, simplifying protection, amplifying resilience, and delivering confidence in every cloud. Cloud-native protection, conquered by Commvault Cloud.
Pretty nice, huh? So let's step back and focus on what this means to the business. First, complete visibility. Across accounts, across subscriptions, across clouds, automatically discovered in a unified single view. You know exactly what's protected, what's not, and where your risk lives. Second, cost transparency. Not just protection, but total cost of protection. Side-by-side comparisons with cloud-native options and clear savings estimates. That's transparency finance teams can trust. Third, operational simplicity. No complex deployment, no heavy lift, onboard directly from the marketplace, and automatically bring new resources under protection. And finally, flexibility without complexity. Snapshots, immutable vaults, cross-region copies, tailored protection strategies across multi-cloud, delivered through one consistent control plane. The takeaway? Reduce risk through visibility, optimize spend through cross-transparency, faster time to value through simple onboarding, enterprise resilience without operational overhead. That's modern protection aligned to business outcomes, not just infrastructure. And finally, I wanted to highlight for engineering, application, and DevOps leaders in the crowd, we certainly can't leave out our Clumio experience. You'll be hearing much more about our native AWS resilience platform today, and for good reason. Clumio continues to rapidly innovate and deliver true cloud-native resilience with its serverless architecture that scales to meet the challenges that other solutions just can't touch. Clumio's pioneering release support of Apache Iceberg tables was a huge advancement as we continue to develop new ways to provide resilience for data foundations and the power of analytics and AI applications. This innovation was one of many that led Commvault to be named AWS Storage Partner of the Year at AWS reInvent last year. A prestigious honor reflective of our commitment to solving our customers' biggest resiliency challenges to help them continue to build for the future of cloud. We're building in a world where AI is accelerating everything: data growth, complexity, risk, and also opportunity. Multi-cloud by design, AI-driven applications, lakehouses powering business, and the stakes, they're higher than ever. Resilience no longer is a back office function. It's the foundation of innovation. If your data isn't trusted, protected, and instantly recoverable, you don't have AI. You don't have cloud. You don't have transformation. This is the area of resilience. Integrated, automated, cloud native, built for the scale and the speed of modern architectures. So here's my challenge to you. Lean in, engage, ask the hard questions, join the rest of the sessions and go deeper into the architecture, the integrations, the real-world patterns that make this possible. And don't rush off. Let's continue the conversation during the networking breaks. The best ideas in cloud native don't just happen on stage, they happen between builders. Let's engineer trust, let's build resilience by design, and let's move the industry forward together. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the day.